All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about upgrades. The mechanic that seems simple at face value, and yet 99% of StarCraft players completely misunderstand. This mechanic is used so wrong, right from very beginners all the way up to the high level. But first, let's introduce the players. This replay is fantastic for talking about it because in the top left, we've got Disc, a GM Protoss player who's incredibly high level, really solid, and was experimenting on his stream with rushing a forge faster than you ever normally are meant to be able to rush a forge, and just stacking those upgrades. So this is Disc in the top left, representing Storm Gaming, and in the bottom right, we've got Milkicow. Can't quite remember Milkicow's team off the top of my head, and we don't have a clan tag there. Anyways, Milkicow is also a very high-level Grandmaster Terran from Europe, and as I said, this game is very interesting for talking about upgrades because Disc is going to try and rush them really fast. The standard methodology of Protoss First Terran is get a Stargate or a Twilight Council as quickly as possible, get either Phoenix or Blink to shut down any Widowmine drops or harassment that comes in, and you use that to get kind of mobility and control, and then you go up into a big solid army, and once you've got a third base established, you start thinking about going for a forge. Very occasionally you'll go for a second forge early, but usually you only go for a second forge after you have a fourth base on the way. So you really power up your economy first and foremost, and that's just the standard way you do it. On the other hand, if we think of the extreme other end of the spectrum, I watch a lot of low-level games and see a lot of newbies playing, and I used to do the exact same thing, and it is, guess what? You get your buddy into 2v2s, they've never played StarCraft, but they've played RTS campaigns before. What's the first thing you see when you pan over and look at their base? It's always an engineering bay just sitting there making an upgrade, or there's like an evolution chamber, or a forge making a shields upgrade. People love those shields upgrades, and it's so funny because you're just like, okay, dude, you don't even have like anything else yet. You don't have a barracks. Why are we making +1? They're like, well, it's going to make my Marines better. And you're like, dude, you're not building workers. You're not building Marines. Oh my God, this is a disaster. You're investing in those upgrades way too early. And to explain it simply, the fact is upgrades are only worth it if you've got a good enough sized army to make them worth it, right? So it takes a long time to invest in them. And in the meantime, you get nothing from it. So there's a big delay in the payoff. And then when you do finally get the payoff, well, it's a small buff of usually about 10-15% damage. Or, you know, a little bit of armor. 1 armor per upgrade, which can be decent, but if you've only got a few units to use that upgrade, it's not that great. And if you've wasted a lot of money investing in it, look at how early this forge is, 2 minutes 30, and then you take a bunch of damage to an attack, your upgrade wasn't ready to help defend it, your upgrade wouldn't have helped that much because you only had 4 Stalkers or a few Marines anyway, it's not that powerful. So there's always this kind of cost analysis where when you're a beginner, you go, oh, the longer the game goes, the upgrades will be good. Upgrades are always good. And you're right, if the opponent doesn't attack you and you're both just sitting there and building up your economy, building up your upgrades, and the game goes long enough, the upgrades will always pay for themselves. But I'm not advocating here that the standard pro meta is don't make upgrades. It's just there's other things that take priority. You make sure you get your safety up, you get your expansions and your economy up, those things that scale exponentially, your income especially, because we know how if you build enough workers, it allows you to invest in more bases and more workers at a very rapid rate. And there's an exponential graph if you look at the income of a player who's building their economy correctly. +1, +2, upgrades do not scale exponentially. And people might disagree with me on this because they'll say, well, if you get a bigger army, your income's going up and everything, then they do. And I'll say, yes, they scale, but they are locked with your army growth. And that's how well they scale. So the most important thing is, will they allow you to scale your army? Not necessarily. Having more income, having more probes, having more bases always allows you to scale up your army size. So these two things, having army to protect yourself, damage your opponent, slow down their growth, as well as economy to build more army, that is purely what upgrades rely on. And remember, this is a game where we've skipped Stalkers, we've skipped Phoenix, and Disc is not ready for this drop. He's only got a Stalker and 2 Adepts. And he's realizing, oh God, I probably needed a few more units than this. This Widowmine drop, it's an armory Widowmine drop as well, so it's a heavily invested one. And he doesn't have a Robo. So he cut a corner on the Robo, which means he doesn't have detection to reveal these Widowmines. Milkicow doing some really nice burrow on burrow micro here. The Marine does get shot down. Widowmine is there. He's going to try and set that off with probes. But look at the way Milkicow's just trying to deny as much mining time as possible. Now the Robo is finally up. But he's forgotten. Guys, he's got a forge. He could just have built a cannon. A cannon builds in the same time it takes a Widowmine to recharge. If he immediately put a cannon down when he saw this red light above the Widowmines, then he would have already killed this. No, don't go back there. No, Disc. Disc. Oh my God. But it targeted on the one that went into the gas. Dude, instant rewind. Guys, we've got to watch that again. Look at this absolute disaster of decision-making from both players. Disc goes back to mining. And yet, the one probe that happened to go into the gas is the one that the Widowmine happened to track on. It shoots on that, and Disc averts disaster, but he's still not building a cannon. And you gotta say, come on, man, you've already let them fire twice. If you just put a cannon down in each mineral line, you can do it. But you can tell this is partially just Disc not being used to the build order. So not only did he not have enough units to defend, he was always going to take a fair bit of harassment damage and denial of mining. He's now taking tons more damage just due to him not being used to the build. Don't be drawing conclusions on this section about, oh, rushing upgrades is bad because he didn't have detection. He did have detection. He just isn't used to having that sort of detection, so he forgot that that's even an option. Nice micro from Milkicow as well. Dude, Milkicow's being so dirty on this. Finally, Disc defends. He has a third on the way, but there's even a bunch of Marines and a tank coming that might cancel his third. Disc's opening has been an absolute disaster. Now, to be fair, guys, his Stalkers are doing slightly more damage. They're doing +1 or +2 versus armored units, which is not bad, but obviously it's nowhere near as important as defending your workers and actually getting an economy up. Luckily, the shield battery defends these probes. Stalkers at the front are trying to pick off these Marines. If you can pick off these Marines, that will help out. I mean, the +1, it's giving a tiny little bit of value here. He's just trying desperately to hang on right now. This game is already becoming a bit of a poop shoot. Milkicow does, it looks like, get deflected there. The siege tank will go down. A bit of an opportunistic strike that was maybe, well, almost certainly it was a bit overeager there. But he's done a lot of damage to Disc, killed 14 probes, a Stalker, and an Adept. And there we go. Finally remembering that Forge, Disc is going to start +2 attack. Now, obviously this game is not clean. It is not pristine. You could iron out your build order a little bit better. But anytime you're investing in a Forge this early, I would actually argue a harassment build like Milkicow's is not the real threat. The bigger threat is what if they just do like a big 2-base Marine tank all-in or something like that. Start putting bunkers outside your base. If they're hitting you when you've got 6 Stalkers and you've invested in +1, it's nowhere near as good as having up more gateways, having more unit production. The flexibility of building more production, building more economy is obviously way better. But it's fascinating to see now that it's like, well, we are going to have a ridiculously fast +2 Colossus finished before the Stim medevac pressure hits. And that's wild, because you normally don't have +1 at this time. So Disc is going to have +2 ready normally, way earlier than you would have +1. And that will make the Stalkers, the Colossus, all do a fair bit more damage. One of the unintended effects here that could be really cool is Milkicow might not realize still. Even though he's seen the Forge, it might not fully dawn on him, and he might look at a fight, say, oh, I can win that fight, and then lose the fight and go, hey, wait a second, like, why am I losing? Oh, your units are way better. Normally I see a Stalker, I think it's a certain strength at this point in the game. You know, I sense its strength. But those Stalkers are going to be a bit stronger than all the Colossus. 11 damage versus regular, 17 versus light, +2, 20 seconds away. Chrono boost on it, trying to get it ready for this push. And I think there is enough to defend right now. Disc is back to 56 workers, which is pretty nice. Trying to get a few more gateways, trying to defend up front there. Stalkers are doing pretty well. Oh, going to take out the siege tank as well. Oh, Stalkers do blink forward. Maybe a little ambitious there, but actually Milkicow taking the fight like a mad lad. Oh, Disc chasing was really bad. Really bad move for Disc. Just lost a lot of Stalkers there, and that was unfortunate. You do not want to be trading those units. In the natural, it looks like another drop coming in. Oh, no. Oh no, Disc, he's got +2. He starts +3 in the midst of this. Disc is like, well, my pants are already around my ankles. I'm already caught, you know, in a very exposed position. I'm kind of imagining Disc, like you guys know, when you see a dog and it needs to go poo-poo, but it feels like really exposed and it's looking around nervously as it kind of squats to start doing its business. Sorry guys, just tried to suppress the sneeze and you kind of heard it come out as like a bit of a weird suppressed dog whimper. Kind of fits the commentary. That's the sort of sound that a dog makes, I guess, if it feels really exposed doing its business. Anyway, Milkicow loads up, is still doing damage, is still YOLOing in here. Oh, this is so bad for Disc. Battery overcharge trying to hang on, but he's got so few units. These +2 Stalkers are trying desperately to hang on, but it is a Pyrrhic effort, and you can see he's looking pretty dead right now. Down 50 supply. And this is a rather extreme example, obviously forgetting about the detection, of why upgrades are massively overrated if you rush them too early, and why it is a balancing act. It's not that upgrades are bad. People, when they hear something's overrated, they think it means it's bad. No. It means that people have an unrealistic idea of when they should go for them, and they go for them too early in the game. And Disc has found out the hard way, hey, you really, if you're going to rush those upgrades, you better be super on point with your scouting, your reactions, and understanding how to deal with all the different weird things your opponent can throw at you. Because that early first 5, 6, 7 minutes, you're going to have less tools to deal with it than normal. And Milkicow is just non-stop right now. Milkicow continuing in. The Colossus are going to do a lot more damage versus these Marauders and Marines than normal with +2. 12 damage versus regular, 19 versus light. They're going to be doing a lot of damage here. They will start to be able to take it down. You got to blink for the Widow Mines. Good blink, dodges the Widow Mines, but the drop back in the main, finding even more damage. Milkicow at the front. His army's a bit overstimmed, fighting into battery overcharge, and these Colossus are doing a lot more damage than Colossus normally do. Does clean up a bunch of those units. He doesn't have any detection right now. He desperately needs an observer, or these Widow Mines are just going to keep firing. But it's going to be, what, 3 Colossus in a moment, plus 3 attack will be done in about 30 seconds. A bunch of Stalkers and Zealots, and only 47 workers. Milkicow is miles ahead in this game right now, but he does have to keep in mind, these are way better Protoss units than you normally see. In this situation, my Terran mind, if I was in Milkicow's shoes, I'd be thinking these are 0-0 Protoss units, or maybe +1. Ooh, one of those units flies in and dies. The other drop does go back and hide for now. The Observer comes out. The Colossus start to clear up this base. And +3 is about to kick in. We are going to have +3 in the 10-minute mark range. And remember, if there wasn't such a pause after +1, which is almost like a 50-second pause, I think, that could have been done before 10 minutes. But even being done at 10:30, look at that, dude. 26 damage each time, because it's 2 times these. Remember, it's 2 attacks. So 2 times 13, 26 versus the Marauders, 42 versus the Marines. The Colossus are almost one-shotting Marines at this point. Remember, a Marine has 55 life with shields. You stim it down to 45, and then the Colossus are obliterating it and getting it to within a single Zealot, Stalker, or anything shot of death. A 4th Colossus is on the way as well. You got to be really careful about the Vikings now coming in. Milkicow has a 4th base, 8 barracks, 2nd starport, and basically we're seeing, can you survive as Disc? Because you're down 20 workers versus a Terran. The Terran even does have +2 attack coming in. I love that armor upgrades are now being continued and they're still being chronoed. Because if you get your forge this early, even with a single forge, you can actually get crazy upgrades. Going double forge this early, I think would have been an objectively terrible call. But you can see that with a few adjustments, this might actually be a really good build for Disc if he didn't take so much damage at the start. Because his units are, they're just insanely valuable now. Look how good these units are at their damage output. But if there's enough Vikings to deal with the Colossus, they'll still go down pretty quickly. He's trying to just stutter step these units. Zealot does take that Widow Mine hit there. Does clean up that other Widow Mine before it can fire. Trying to pull that Red Point Zealot back to safety. Thinking about taking a 4th base is Disc. Not really building probes, just realizing, hey, I've got to play on a budget. I do not have big numbers. And actually, these Colossus are starting to get crazy value. Where's the Viking growth? It feels like Milkicow's trying to fight head-on into Colossus with +3, and their damage output is insane. Look at the units lost tab. Almost 2,000 resources lost ahead. Whereas normally Terran, I feel, has more recently been ahead more often than Protoss in this matchup. Got Vikings now building 4 at a time, though. If he can get to like 6 or 7 Vikings, I think Milkicow can fight, but he can't be clumped up. Oh no, he can't be clumped up against those Colossus beams. Those Colossus beams are going to be brutal, man. He's trying to spread there, but he's in kind of a choke point. Nice EMPs, though. A couple Vikings coming out, but the Zealots are going to shield the front line. The Colossus going forward. The Stalkers trying to do their business. They focus down the Vikings. The Colossus doing some really good kiting. Units lost tab still 2,500 resources now in favor of Disc. Disc has also got +2 armor on the way. I want to see more chronos in that, dude. Just keep chronoing that single forge. This is actually awesome. Milkicow playing single engineering bay as well. Has +2 attack on the way, armor on the way, so isn't too far behind. 2 upgrades at the moment. Or actually only 1 upgrade, but that's actually not too bad. It's just that Terran normally is ahead on the upgrades in the earlier stages of this. 2nd Robo's on the way as well as Disruptors now. If these 4 Colossi don't get dealt with, they're going to keep grabbing value. That Widow Mine from the high ground does shoot down there. The Bio chasing after these Zealots with their Medivacs. Rest of the army's up in the north side. Milkicow with a split army. He can do well versus this, but he's got to make sure that he counterattacks or flanks the army. He can't really fight it front on. Vikings get a few shots on the Colossus. Disc does lose a few Stalkers as well, which is expensive. Disc still on only 57 workers. +1 ship weapons coming in as well. Milkicow is miles ahead in this game, man. Oh, triple counter drop on the left side. Not a bad move, but his army on the right needs to push at the same time to really punish Disc, because Disc's whole army has to move here. And he can trade on the Stalkers. I like that Milkicow stims a Marine to see, hey, where are those Stalkers? He wants to pick up and get out, but that'll be a hard trip. The Stalkers do blink forward. He's just going to stand and fight. Tries to focus down the Stalkers, but nice micro, pulling back a lot of those Stalkers deep in the red. Disc 4th base going down in the top right. He's got a Zealot run by going in as well. The Zealots are about to get +2 armor, which will make a difference, but +2 armor is not too far away from Milkicow as well. Milkicow picks up and drops towards the main base at the same time, pulling back to defend his expansion. It looks like there was a gap in his production right here. Oh, and a bunch of Marauders get cleaned up. But the drop in the main base could do more damage. Units lost tab now 4,000 resources in favor of a Disc. Disc trying to take Milkicow to Dicktown right now. Sorry, Disctown. Apologies, slip of the tongue, guys. What can I say? You know, if you think about something all day, every day, it just gets stuck in your brain and comes out your mouth. Holy shit. That combination of words was even more messed up. Anyways, we've got the Medivacs in the top. They barely get away yet again. Disc is on 3 base versus a 5 base Terran taking a 6th. Surely, this cannot work. It's mostly Zealot Stalker. There's a couple of Disruptors. There is 4 Colossus, but with 13 Vikings, they will counter that. And a Disruptor getting caught out in the open. It's very unfortunate there. Concussive Shells does tag it. Zealot Stalker Colossus on the right side. Oh, Sneaky Nuts, Sneaky Nuts! But he gets taken out just before the Sneaky Nut can detonate. Oh, wait. Is this going to become a base trade? Disc is like, screw going home. I'm sick of chasing my tail. You have a big economy advantage. I need to fight right now. 3-2 versus 2-2. Only a single upgrade advantage. The moment those Vikings come back and deal with the Colossus, I think Disc is dead. But if Disc can maybe get in there on the production, it maybe can make something happen. If you Zealots warping on the top, those guys are going to try and run away. Disc needs to get some probes out of here. That's the problem. If this turns full base trade, you need to get some probes out or you will lose the base trade. Probes are going to get taken out on all these bases. This is a big issue. Disruptor not able to pop out of that Robo in time. Both Robos have been taken out, guys. Stalker Zealot Colossus up there trying to do what they can. Zealots here in the net third base are doing damage, but remember, there's planetaries all over the place. So Milkicow's doing pretty well with that. And all these probes getting hammered by the Marine Marauder split. Milkicow butchering him right now. That being said, Milkicow's production is getting taken out, and Milkicow's actually down in army supply. Having that big economy advantage means he'll be able to rebuild off these planetaries quite nicely. And oh, there we go. Mass barracks building in the top as well as a Ghost Academy. Just wants to keep building Marine Marauder Ghost probes coming in and actually attacking those buildings as they build, which is hilarious. Dark Shrine did get built here, but hasn't warped in any Dark Templar due to being supply blocked, unfortunately. These probes do get to the other side of the map. Disc with a lot more money in the bank, because of course all these buildings do cost a lot. Depot's trying to be rebuilt right now. I'd love to see Disc leave a Zealot cleaning up these depots. There's 3 barracks here that end up just landing on location. Milkicow desperately trying to get that production up. These units are stuck there, and he didn't actually clear up the Dark Shrine, which could be kind of nice. Planetary gets jumped on. Disc chasing down these command centers. The army needs to get back here. The Vikings could deal with the Colossus, but they're in the open right now. Stalkers can take care of them. Colossus move right, Stalkers move left. If those Stalkers get another blink, they could kill a bunch of these Vikings. They get rid of one. The Colossus do take some pretty hefty damage at the same time. Probes getting caught out in the midst of this, trying to mine a bit more gas there. New Nexus going up in the bottom. Probe hiding over there as well. Observer's going to try and track him. It's 3-2 versus 2-2. Upgrade advantage is slight, but remember, those Colossus beams care a lot about these upgrades. At this stage, this has just turned into a complete disaster. Can you remember, Disc was down 50 or 60 supply at some point, but good defensive engagements, hanging on, relying on these upgrades, working them ahead. Even though Milkicow closed the gap on those upgrades, Disc has taken really impressive fights. I love the blink forwards to try and chase down the Vikings. There's only 7 Vikings left, and all 4 Colossus are still alive. The Guardian Shields especially have been spectacular, and those Medivacs need time to heal. You cannot afford to lose those Medivacs. Milkicow did not rebuild a factory. It's only the Vikings and Medivacs that he's got in store. And look at that. Trying to hide behind the planetary, but that means he's losing his production. These 3 barracks over here do get spotted by that probe. That Marine realizes what's going on down there. Uh-oh. Oh, that probe almost lures him there, but the Marine turns around like an absolute nincompoop. One of my favorite words. Nincompoop. Imbecile. These are up there, man. Widow Mine is still over there. A few Marauders as well. Both sides have let the other keep up a few depots and pylons on their sides of the map. Not to mention that Dark Shrine. And Disc sending some more probes out on the map. Disc isolating the production right now. I still feel this could go very bad for Disc, though. If Milkicow just sets a single drop over there, he kills all the probes. And, like, yeah, he's got a lot more mining. And he is building ghosts. He's building Marines and Marauders. Problem is he's losing the chipping battle. That's the problem right now. I feel like Milkicow, honestly, should just split the army half there, half here, pull all the SCVs, just corner this army and just dive. It's either that or counter drop, but you got to make a move, and you got to do it soon, and Milkicow just doesn't know about the Nexus. Milkicow's running forwards in a ball. Oh, this ball micro that a lot of the top pros do, I feel, is so dangerous, man. And every time he stims, his units are in trouble. Now he's going to send a drop across the map. You've really got to make sure you pre-spread and get your Marauders in front of your Marines, I feel, against the Zealots. You really want Marines behind Marauders, but look at this. All these units are also overstimmed and taking massive damage. They're all dying from the rally point over there. Disc picking off so much. These barracks just cannot keep producing. The Stalkers just keep blasting them down. And finally, he's going to find the base down here is Milkicow. He saw 2 probes leave just then. He's going to find this Nexus, but look at that. The recall is there. You do not want to lose these 2 full medevacs. Uh-oh, the Stalkers are hot on your trail. You got to get out of here, man. Okay, a few of those units do go down. Stalker's going to chase. They will get rid of one of the medevacs. One of them escapes with a few units. He's trying to save one more ghost. Very greedy. Does manage to save 2 ghosts, 2 marauders. These barracks are still pumping out units. Milkicow's been mining so much more. And Disc is only now trying to rebuild some production. Disc has 3,000 gas. If Disc just makes a Templar Archives and a ton of Archons, oh my god, or even Dark Templar Archons would be good, but High Templar Archons, especially with that gas bank, would be god tier. Zealots Colossus coming in, taking out the barracks, forcing them to lift and pick up. This game has turned into an absolute poop shoot right now. As things reset for a moment, I do want to ask everyone in the comments, or for your opinion on any specifically really fast upgrade builds that either yourself or a pro have done that you actually think are legit and other people overlook. Make your argument for what stupid, silly, special build, why it makes sense, why it's actually good, and why it's overlooked. And I really feel like this single Forge build for Disc, if he realized, oh wait, Armory Widow Mines drop a cannon in each mineral line, he could have deflected that and had such a better early game. And just looking at how well these fights went, I don't know, he must have out-micro... I mean, he definitely took a few better fights. Milkicow got a little sloppy, but I think Milkicow was also just shocked at how quickly the Colossus and Stalkers were killing his units. Being surprised to be facing such fast upgrades. Depots and Engineering Bay getting taken out by a single Zealot is nice. The Marine up there, we still haven't seen Dark Templar warped in, funnily enough, though they are available right now. There's no Twilight Council or anything like that either. Disc's base is still wide open for pressure, though. There's no armory, so the Widowmine should only get 1 shot off. Oh, he catches this drop up here. Does get the medevac. Nice move. But there's a lot more mining going on behind it. We've got medevacs, tanks, Marines, and Marauders building. And that orbital just dropping rich supply drops here. Trying to get more depots as Milkicow as he's very supply blocked right now. Cybercore's on the way here for Disc. Disc only on 13 probes. I'd like to see pylons and probes being built for him, but he's kind of just focusing on the army. Loses a Stalker to the siege tank. The EMP only... don't think it really landed on anything. Looks like that was dodged by the blink. These guys are long-distance mining gas right now for God knows why. I feel like he should just take these gases rather than long-distance mine. He's got 3,000 in the bank, but Disc right now is focusing on containing his opponent more than anything else. Dark Templar warps in. Oh, +3 Dark Templar, man. 60 damage a hit, one-shotting those SCVs. Zealot takes out the depot on the right as well. We've got another barracks getting back here. 3 barracks, a factory, and a starport. 2 command centers. Engineering Bay going down, realizing, oh god, I've only got EMP and a single scan for these Dark Templar. Where's he scanning? Oh, he scanned down here. Thought that base might be taken interesting. Okay, I feel like the Viking count has to be crucial. Oh, wait, did he not lose a Colossus this game? He hasn't lost a single Colossus. This is the same 4 Colossus from the start. 31 kills, 24 kills, 16 kills, and 20 kills. Dude, 51, 75, 91 kills between those 4 Colossus. Oh. Units also have 15,000 resource difference. Oh my gosh. Milkicow. Milkicow's a very good Terran, but man, he's gotten a little sloppy in this one, hasn't he? Oh me, oh my. Oh man, that unit's lost out hurts, that does. And these Colossus just never dying to the Vikings is insane. I think tanks is a really good idea for Milkicow, but what I'd really like to see is pre-spreading. Too many Terrans just always micro their army in one big ball. And for him, he really should pre-spread his units out and control-click the Marines and pull them behind the Marauder Ghost, because they'll evaporate to +3 Colossus. But if those Marines are still alive once the Colossus are off the field, they're really useful units. They do great damage. Their hit points are actually worth something when there's no Colossus or Storm on the field. It can be very, very effective. I love this Marine still patrolling, and we're still leaving Pylons and Dark Shrine up there. I'm just like, come on, man. Send a drop or 2 over and clear these Pylons up. There's so much. He's letting him rebuild. Like, the Stalker count's growing. A Robo is on the way. Still no Templar Archives, guys. No Twilight Council, no Templar Archives. Disc. Come on, mate. Come on. And Disc's also not really been building probes. Disc keeps thinking there's going to be like a game-ending battle at any moment, so he's kind of just chilling on that stuff. Oh, they spotted him. They spotted him. There we go. Nice EMP on the Dark Templar scout there. Disc is roaming right now. Milkicow on the right side. Man, the fact that Disc is down 50 supply in the early mid-game. The fact that he took like 6 Widow Mine shots from Armory Widow Mines. And then the fact that he's actually ahead in terms of army at this stage. It has been for most of this base trade. Truly, truly impressive. I think if Milkicow did just a little bit of a... Did he just kill a Colossus? Guys, did he just kill his own Colossus? We're going to do an instant rewind there. Oh! Oh my god, he just accidentally A-clicked on his own Colossus! He just A-clicked on his own Colossus! Oh my god! The only Colossus that has died this game has been at his own hands. Oh man, what the hell, dude? That is... Disc has got to be kicking himself. I mean, you can tell the way he's not probing up or really spending his gas bank. He's absolutely lost situational awareness, right? He's now going double Robo Beta build disruptors, still not mining gas. Finally building warpers. He's like, please take some gas, take a third base. Just play this like a normal game at this point, you know? Build that economy back up, but still massing Stalker warp-ins as well. So many Stalkers. I would argue an unnecessary amount of Stalkers. Milkicow also has like a bunker and a turret at his base. He's got decent production, but also is not building that many SCVs or command centers, feeling like he's got a turtle in this side. So it feels like both sides are waiting for the other to like run in and try to kill them and make a big play, and it's just not happening. Now that Dark Templar, he spotted that. Great vision there. Really well done. Dark Templar only gets a single SCV. Milkicow can just send an SCV back onto that. Easy peasy. Double Disruptor production strikes me as really good. If Milkicow went range libs, even off like 40 workers, I actually think that would be a game-winning play as well. Range libs would be rather spectacular. A few Marines and Marauders splitting off, but he doesn't send medevacs with them. That's a ridiculously huge mistake, because that means he can just send his Zealots up and kill these for free. Or a Dark Templar even is going to cause problems if you don't have a scan on. Oh, this is a bit of a costly move for Milkicow. Yeah, he's going Fusion Core! He's going Fusion Core! Oh, that's exactly what I was saying! Go Range Libs! Range Libs will be potentially game winners. If you can get like a bunch of Range Liberators out, those are one of the best units. Okay, nice. Scan. Takes out the DT. Does have a medevac here. Should try to take out all the buildings just for the vision, but of course the pylons and the Dark Shrine are the biggest priority. Third base going up now for Disc. Disc on 37 workers. Building enough pylons to try and replace these so that he can keep building units right now. Dark Shrine will be going down. Does he warp in more Dark Templar? He does. 3 Dark Templar warp in over here. The Dark Shrine does fall. Army, 24 Marauders, 7 Ghosts, 35 Marines, 4 Tanks, 5 Vikings. 3 Colossus from the early game standing strong. The only Colossus that has fallen has been at his own hands. Marine Marauder does take out the last gateways in the main as well. Dark Templar is kind of wandering the map for a little bit of scouting. This is so static. Range Live is on the way. Finally a third command center building. Milkicow doesn't want to build more workers because he's like, well, I don't even know if I can establish control over a new base. So I'm just going to max on army. They're both going to build gigantic armies. More Stalkers warping in on Disc side of the map. I don't know why. He's at 27 Stalkers. That seems like way too many to me. But apparently the man's addicted. They've done well for him this game. He says, Pig, look at my units lost tab. You tell me Stalkers are bad? I've lost 32 Stalkers this game. Almost as many as the Zealots. It's worth it. Armory's on the way. Looks like Milkicow wants to get +2 ship weapons for those Liberators. I think this base would probably be the best one for him to take. Both of them are very fresh. I guess this one has a bit less minerals, so we might want to take the top, but it's just spread a little bit far away in my opinion. He's so clumped. For this stage of the game, to keep your bio this clumped has got to be a mistake in my opinion. I understand you can start a step versus Zealots that way, which is great, but you can start a step with a spread as well. I think Zealots aren't that big of a threat at this point, even with 25 of them in the army. Good spready. Does lose a Marauder, but he gets a Disruptor. Well worth it. Great trade for Milkicow. Oh, counter drop comes in. Counter drop comes in. There's also a Liberator and some Vikings in the bottom. I don't know why the Vikings are down there, guys. He's bringing Liberators in from the back. The drop is going to take out a bunch of these Stalkers. Pulls back because battery overcharge is there. And the Liberators are going to come in and siege these bases. Oh, look at this. Oh, Lib Range is so powerful. He's waiting for Lib Range, guys. Notice he's trying to make sure the Liberator doesn't drift too far forward. I think they're both in range of Stalkers, but that is going to be a big problem. That's a big problem right now. The army is moving back. He scans to make sure there's no observer. He sends a quad drop to the left. If Disc saw that, he should send some Stalkers to deal with that, or some of his army. That Dark Templar does see it. He definitely needs to split up and deal with it. One Stalker goes down. Can he even reach these Liberators? I'm not sure, man. Apparently, he blinked forward and couldn't hit that one, so the one on the right, he definitely couldn't. Oh, no. Milkicow with a brilliant maneuver going range lives. These Stalkers going whirly-twirly up to the top of the ocean. And that's a great hot pickup. Saves all but one Marine. The Marine gets left behind. He's actually going to kill a few probes if he doesn't watch out. And the Liberators are denying all of Disc's mining. Man, this Liberator, as long as he doesn't go too far forward, I think he might be slightly too far. Yeah, he's definitely too far forward. He could siege up a full space or two further back there. Cues it back, but because it's got acceleration, it's going to drift as he sieges there. I think it's good enough, though. With no Stargate, nothing you can do about that. +3 weapons on the way. If he gets +2 ship weapons as well, that would be god tier. These guys are getting caught. Oh, get out of there! He should be running up to the dead space right now. He's got to get out of here. Milkicow, get out of there, man. Run, run, run. He's going to lose a full medevac. Bit sloppy from Milkicow. This command center should be running away. He's very slow on it. Milkicow's not hiding the command center. Oh, that's a free snipe. Bunch of SCVs in the command center will go down. He's going to counter drop while trying to defend with his siege tanks and bio. He better pre-spread the bio on both sides of this. Milkicow needs those Liberators up. Vikings are coming back to try and join in, but he loses 1 or 2 on the retreat. The Disruptors go down to the tanks, though. There's a few Disruptors left, but not that many. Counter drop goes in. Liberators denying Disc's mining. Man, Disc had the advantage for a long time, but now the range libs are ruining him. I was thinking about them in a frontal fight, but they're actually kicking his ass at the harassment game, which I wasn't expecting. Gonna try and fall back behind the planetary. He's got to go through a choke point. Kind of scary. Get out of there. Oh, the Disruptor does get quite a few of those units. Mass Repair is ready on that planetary. The Widow Mines are going to get a few decent hits there. No, nice Disruptor shot pulling the Zealots back. And these Widow Mines aren't able to fire. Where are the rest of the range Liberators? I don't know. This might have to just go full base trade. I think full base trade might be the way. There's no planetary up there. This army is cornered. There's no medevacs with them, so this army's kind of isolated. These units will win down the bottom. Liberators have denied a lot of mining time, but the army supply is big and ahead for Disc, and that is a big issue. Man, if there was a second starport making range libs, I feel like Milkicow could have done quite well here. Milkicow's going to try and defend those libs, but I think the Stalkers can blink on him and take him out quite nicely. Still nothing happening at home for Disc. Disc is out of money, and Disc does not have the money to build new buildings. Not even an assimilator. Disc is screwed in the base trade. Milkicow needs to go for the base race, but the recall's going to come in. Liberator does take out 1 Stalker. Recall is good. The Liberator does go down. Okay, very wise of Disc. He needed to pull back here. And Milkicow kills some units, picks up, gets out. Army supply very even for both sides. There's still mining for Milkicow. Disc, only 7 probes. He can go back to mining right now, and I think he will do just that in a moment, wherever those probes are hiding. I do not know. Did he just get another medevac? No. Okay, the probes are all out in the middle. Disc needs to go back to mining. Milkicow is mining on 1 command center right now. He's got a factory building Widow Mines. Oh god, his drop's getting caught! No, Milkicow! No, Milkicow! Oh god. Okay, he's trying to hide a barracks up here as well. Looks like the empty medevac does get shot down. The other ones should be okay as long as he boosts, and he does boost home right now. These Liberators are everything. He's got Liberators all over the map. He's trying to bring them back home. 7 Liberators is actually great, but he can't be affording to lose any of them. Liberator's still denying mining down south. He's going to have 6 Liberators on the army. 1 at home. Oh no, he loses a Liberator. Almost loses a second one on the way home. The starport's going to go down as well. That is a disaster, losing that starport. This is a crazy... How do we even get here? Units lost tab is still 18,000 resources in favor of Milkicow. He's going to go for a counter drop yet again. Oh, he's going to stim forwards? He just EMP'd. I think he... What the hell? His EMPs are really derpy. I think he's seeing observers where there aren't any. There is an observer up here. He does EMP it, takes it down as it leaves the scan range, but he's used all of his EMPs now before the fight even starts. Disc might be able to just push through. There are Widow Mines right there. There's another one just to the north, but he hasn't noticed that one. 2 Marauders go down. Oh no, Recall's not ready, guys. Recall is not ready. This drop can kill all the buildings. Time for Milkicow to play the base race, but oh god, his army gets separated from the Liberators there. Milkicow is losing these trades. The Stalker Colossus army for Disc is being used so well. Oh, look at the way he's taking out the Liberators. All the Liberators getting gunned down. The Disruptor's going to throw some big balls out. Nice focus fire for Milkicow, but he's got to back off. Takes a big ball on the way out. His buildings are going down. He doesn't have many buildings left. He's got a barracks hidden. He can try to force a draw. He can force a draw. Wait, he can force a draw? Okay, he's got to kill all of Disc's mining, which he has. Disc can't rebuild a Nexus? No way. No way, it's a draw, guys. As long as he keeps the barracks on the edge of the map, this has to be a draw. Because neither of you, there's no flying units for Protoss, so you can't kill the barracks. You can kill the whole Terran army. Doesn't matter. Wait, Terran could still win, though. Oh god, Terran could still win if he kills all the buildings. Terran can still win if he kills all the buildings. Milkicow, if he can kill that last assimilator. The Stalkers are there, though. That's going to go down. Takes... Oh, yeah, no, he can't get it. He can't get it in time. He loses those units. He will kill the other buildings on the map. And remember, there's no money to build anything else. Oh, there's a Dark Templar. Remember, he used all those EMPs, so he's losing his whole army to a Dark Templar down here. Oh, he's trying to target the ghosts as well. Another ghost goes down. If that last ghost goes down, there is no chance of EMPing this. Oh, the Dark Templar. Okay, so there goes Milkicow's chance of winning the game. Down in the dirt. Oh, the Dark Templar. How many kills? 12 kills on that Dark Templar. Looks like there's another one here with 6 kills. So the Dark Templar ripping him to shreds. And that has to be a draw game. What in the hell was this match? This was a fun one, man. I love that we got to see bizarre early game upgrade play. Absolute poop shoot. Crazy comeback for Disc. Milkicow way behind for a period. Goes range libs. Absolutely destroys Disc's economy. Takes him to Disc Town. And that's going to be a cancel. Cancels at the last second. He's trying to rebuild buildings, but there's no way now. There's no way. Oh, no. Guys! He's letting it get shoot the Milkicow. Oh god, he wasn't watching. So even though it doesn't take damage from the hallucination, it automatically thinks it's getting attacked. So if you don't hold position the barracks, you can kind of shoo it away to the ground. And if he managed to set that barracks on fire, he wins the game. Milkicow loses another command center. Milkicow is gonna have to go for the draw now. Still got a drop and a liberator. He's like, maybe I can kill it. It's like I can siege from the edge and then drop and kill it. And it's like, nah, you can't, man. Not with the Reddit point medevac. If he didn't lose so much to DTs, maybe he could have jumped on this army, killed it, and then found a way to come in, but that's going to be that. Let's fast forward from here, because they're both just slowly coming to grips with it. Milkicow's trying to hide buildings and failing. This is his last SCV. He's going to throw down some diva thumbs up. So how was your day, says Disc. Normal for Milkicow. I believe Milkicow's Russian. Cool. Glad to hear, says Disc there. Glad to hear, man. Is that an SCV? Last SCV gets knocked off the map. Now, for those who don't know, if you don't build buildings, build units, kill buildings, kill units, mine, or if you don't mine, I can't remember the exact list, but it's like if you don't mine resources or kill any buildings for like a certain number of minutes, the draw timer will activate. You can reset it by killing your own buildings, I believe. But there we go. The game will end in 2 minutes. Draw time is activated. It's like, hey guys, harvest any resources, research and upgrade, produce a unit, construct a building, or destroy an opponent's building, prevent the game ending in a tie when this timer expires. They obviously can't do it, and they're just kind of hanging out, and it's going to be a GG. Wow, that was a really fun game. I love that Disc managed to salvage what was a horrendous start. I love these early upgrade builds as well, and I want to start mixing them in a little bit more myself. GG, well played. A rare tied draw game on the StarCraft ladder. Thank you very much, Disc, for sharing that replay. Milkicow for playing it, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and good night.